Hey everybody, welcome to Psycho Sexy Seance. I am your hostess, the Empress Red. Well everyone, happy eclipse season. So today we had the solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse in Virgo, in the new moon of Virgo, or actually the sun is now going into the sign of Libra starting tomorrow. So, but this is the second new moon that we have in Virgo. I did promise I was going to do a podcast about that, and here I am. I meant to do a podcast about the full moon that we had, but at the same time, I have a lot going on, so I really didn't have an opportunity to do that. So that being said, I wanted to get into a little bit about this energy. So eclipse energy has a lot to do with karmic beginnings and karmic endings. And so especially since we had a lunar eclipse not that long ago, this was our opportunity to make some really necessary changes, right? And so that Virgo energy that we have with where the moon is, for example, new moon in Virgo, this was a really special period of time because this was the opportunity that everybody has in which to make some necessary changes when it comes to not only just organizing their lives, getting their relationships in order, and maybe doing some self-reflection, right? As far as relationships go in order. So from the last new moon until this new moon, if you've ever struggled in relationships in the sense where you've had commitment issues, or maybe you have some habits in relationships that are not super savory, this was your opportunity in which to make those changes. However, people who are still stuck in those patterns, for example, if you have a new relationship that you're in and you still haven't gotten over maybe having a lot of backups in the background, side pieces, things like that. If you were thinking that you were going to quit with that behavior and then you chose not to up until this point, unfortunately, that's never going to change. This was your opportunity in which to do some serious self-reflection. So, for example, as well, financially, right? So this is a great opportunity in which to clean up your financial lifestyle. This is an opportunity in which to clean up your personal self-discipline when it comes to your health and how you treat your body, how you treat your mind, all of those things. So hopefully you will take this as an opportunity. Now, there's still time. If there are certain things that you would like to fix, there are certain things that not only for yourself, but for others. If you really want to enter into this new phase with a really strong sense of purity and with love and with discipline, tonight you have an opportunity to do that. So this is where I lead into the talking about Mabon specifically. So that is your, it's the pagan, mostly Wiccan celebration of the Fall Equinox, and it's a great opportunity in which to set new intentions, right? So we have an opportunity to let go of what no longer serves us, right? And because this coincides with an eclipse, this is a huge opportunity in which to make huge karmic changes. One of the things that I've noticed personally is that there's been this 2-year cycle, and in that 2-year cycle, a lot of things have changed. Now, some of the people around me or some of the people I've dealt with in the last 2 years, I've noticed that their cycles are exactly the same. And so although the desire to change may perhaps be there, unless you actually start making certain decisions and start taking certain actions and reevaluating how disciplined you are and how you approach your relationships, your jobs, your day-to-day activities, how you eat, how you exercise. It's really important to not only lay out the ground details, but also to start actually taking the actions in which to fix those things, right? So we all have a responsibility to do this, right? So going forward in relationships, for example, if what you desire is to have a relationship that is successful, pure, you need to discipline yourself. You need to discipline yourself, and you need to hope that your partner is also disciplined. There's a lot that goes into that. It has a lot to do with communication, right? And so if you're stuck in whether it's an actual relationship or situationship or whatnot, and you feel like you're not quite communicating on the level, do it tonight. Okay, do it tonight, do it tomorrow. Maybe even do a Mabon spread or a spell tomorrow, actually together if you can. And then that way you can help kind of solidify that connection that you guys have, right? But you have to do it with pure intention. You have to do it with strong intention. You have to know exactly what it is that you want and how you're going to attain it, together or alone. Now, people who are single, who are not currently pursuing relationships, now the thing with you is that you're going to be a little bit more focused on more internal work, right? So more of your internal struggle, more of your internal shadow self, and you're going to be putting a lot more time into that. So I just wanted to throw this blurb out there. There's a lot of transition that's happening. Obviously, we know that the world is in chaos right now. People have no idea what they want. The Leo energy is carried over. We do have several outer planets that are currently in fire signs. We've got some Aries energy out there and whatnot. And there's just this huge sense of upheaval, right? And obviously, like, Pluto is bouncing back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn right now before it really like settles in Pluto, right? So one of the things that I find that is incredibly important is that we need to take a look at the collective as a whole and then decide exactly where we want to stand on it, right? So it's hard because you want to have a sense of maybe a sense of balance where everything is completely imbalanced. You have these measures of extremes, one side or the other, that are absolutely throwing people for a loop. It is one pendulum or another, and I definitely have my opinions about some things, but this is neither the time nor the place in which to express those things, because I really wanted to just kind of focus on where we were at with the astrology. So I just want you to just take this opportunity to note that because we are in the autumn equinox, this is about balance, okay? This is about balance, and today, give yourself that balance, okay? It's okay to have your opinions. It's okay to feel strongly, and you should feel strongly about some things, right? I mean, human rights are just non-negotiable. Sorry, but at the same time, don't forget to take some time to unplug, okay? Unplug, give yourself an opportunity in which to reflect, listen to music, get off the social media. I mean, obviously I'm on social media pretty often, especially seeing as how I do it for podcasting purposes and whatnot. But maybe tomorrow with the Mabon, you can take some time to just reflect, okay? Unload yourself, okay? Put on some candles, turn off all your electronics, in fact, maybe except for some music, right? Or if you have an organic way to play music, like a guitar or a drum, or, like a handpan or something like that, or even just sing to yourself, that's good too. But in general, take an evening. Doesn't have to be a whole day, but take an evening and completely unplug yourself from electronics, from social media. Turn it off. Reset yourself. Give yourself an opportunity to reevaluate how you want to respond to things going forward. So I know it's very serious energy, calling for, a certain amount of discipline, calling for a change in how you communicate with people. But, without self-discipline, we cannot expect discipline in other people, period. We expect a lot from other people, I think, myself included. I often have certain standards in people, and then I find myself getting, I get pulled into angry stuff a lot. So, having to, tell myself to calm down, settle down, reevaluate, compare, contrast, and then come back with some logic. And then that is what this new moon in Virgo is asking you to do. It's asking you to reevaluate everything in your life, get rid of what no longer serves you, redo everything you're doing, change the things that you fully intended to change. If you wanted to change some things about yourself years ago and you still haven't gotten on that bandwagon, now's the time. Because especially if you're in a position where you're playing with other people, Like, you need to make sure that those relationships are truly on the level in any way, shape, or form, in every way, shape, or form, before you continue on with them. If they're not on the level, you need to move along, you know? That goes for all of us. It is important to make sure that you have the quality in your life that you want, deserve, and work for, and not just quantity, right? Very important. So that being said, I am actually going to put a link for a specific Mabon spell that I have below. It involves apples and cinnamon and that sort of thing, and candles, right? So, you know, essentially you're gonna, you know, I'll explain in writing form what you're gonna do with that spread, and it's real easy. You can do it at home. You can do it with stuff you have at home. If you have apples and cinnamon, that's literally all you need, plus a candle. And then you just write your intentions on some paper, and then, you know, you're gonna burn it, and it's actually pretty simple. And then you're gonna write a mantra for yourself. I might provide one for you, but you can write a mantra for yourself, because the more personal it is, the more power it has, right? Now get into your own power, get into your personal power, and check in with your shadow self. This is a great time to check in with shadow self during the new moon. What does shadow self tell you? What is it that you need to work on? What is it that you need to do in order to improve your relationships? What is it that you need to do to improve your work life, your health, your family life, everything, okay? All of that stuff. Anyway, I wish you all the best fall equinox, and I hope you have an amazing night. I love you all, and I'll talk to you later.